Hey, welcome into the NWGA football slash team FYN Pick'em show sponsored by Al Smith Insurance, Al Smith Alpha Insurance. Guys, week 6, man, we are officially at the halfway point.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, like I said, I think we have a smaller schedule this week, man. There's some good games on tap. 7A gets started this week in region play, and we'll just jump right to it. Like I said, if you're listening on the podcast, we start 7A, work our way down to 1A. So if you're looking for a certain game, you can scroll through and try to find it. But we'll start with the big boys, man. 7A. Carrollton Trojans at Hillgrove. Carrollton 35-point favorite.
Carrollton, big.
Yeah. Same here. Carrollton big.
Yeah, I like that Hillgrove team, man. They got some good players on defense, but I don't think they can hang with Carrollton. Carrollton big. Rome Wolves, man, they open up region play this Friday at Alatoona. 33-point favorites.
I think that Rome's going to win by a pretty good margin, but I'm not sure about the 33. I'd go 21-24. Point victory, that is, not a score.
Yeah.
How about 20?
I like Rome, and I like them close to that spread. I mean, it may be 28. I mean, nothing against Altoona, but I think Rome's on a mission. I really think they are. I think they're focused, and I think Rome wins big.
Yeah, I think they had a fire lit under them after that Carrollton game. They came out the next week dominated on defense. I think they hold Altoona to probably 0 as far as the first team goes. I like Rome 35-0 at least. South Paulden still looking for their first win. Favored at home. Favored on the road at Noonan by 6.
Man, that's a pretty decent Noonan team. I think it's going to be real close. I think that I'm going to go with South Paulden, and I think it could be a coin flip. So it's going to be a tight one, but I'll take South Paulden on the road.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Benton. I think this is going to be a good football game. I've stated several times already this year I like a lot of these Paulding County teams, and I think South Paulding wins a close one.
Yeah, I like South Paulden too. Noonan lost to Paulding County last week, 27-20. I know they'll be looking to rebound in the region this Friday night, but I'm going to go South Paulden, probably by 6. It's going to be a real close game. Banneker at Villarica. Villarica looking to go 2-0 in the region. 14-point favorites.
I like Villarica in this one. I like Villarica at home. It's been a long time since I've been to Villarica. Used to go down there and get our butts whooped all the time. And
Yep.
I think Banneker is going to go lose to Villarica by about the 2 touchdown margin, I think.
I agree again, Benton. I like Villarica. They've got a tough schedule. They're in a tough region, but I like them by about 2 touchdowns Friday night.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the stadium was like when you used to go there, man, and get your butt whooped, but I went down there last year for the first time, and, man, it's awesome down there. Beautiful stadium. Great place to see a game. I'm going with the Wildcats, couple of touchdowns.
It's been a while.
Cass is the only team in that 7-5A that's playing this weekend. No, Dalton's on there. ML King at Cass. Cass 35-point favorite.
Cass, too much talent. D1 talent littered across. I think Cass makes big plays. They'll beat ML King.
I agree again. I like Cass. They've got good talent. They got off to a little bit of a rough start from the scrimmage through the first week or two, but they played some really good competition, which I think they've got better from that. So I think Cass wins big.
Yeah, I think some people's opinion of Cass got jaded by those first few games, because they did play a incredibly tough schedule to begin with. But I think this is a great game to get ready for a 7-5A.
Yep.
They should beat ML King easily. Heritage on the road at Bradley Central. Bradley Central is the number 1 ranked team in 6A in Tennessee.
Wow.
I don't know how big a 6A school is in Tennessee, but I do know how big Heritage is and what they've done so far this year. And it's going to be tough to go to Bradley Central and win. I think probably about right at 35, maybe 28 to 35.
I'm going to have to agree with you again, Benton. I mean, I like Heritage. I like what they've done. Um, they've got some good football players up there, and they play tough. But Bradley Central's a tough team. I mean, even going back, back when I was in school, they were a fairly tough team. So I think Bradley Central wins 35, maybe. I mean, but they're going to win convincingly.
Yeah, I kind of always like to go with the local teams versus the non-local teams, but it's hard to right here when Bradley Central's 35-point favorite, ranked number 1. I like Bradley Central 28 to 35. Woodland hosting Osborne. Osborne is a 12-point favorite.
Yeah, I think Osborne's a better team. I think Woodland will keep it close at home. I like it probably underneath the 12, but I think Osborne still wins the game.
Yeah, Woodland is they've really done well this year. They've impressed me in some football games. They're making strides, and I think they're going to continue to make strides. As the next couple of years go by. But I think Osborne is just a little bit better, and Woodland's going to play hard at home, but I think Osborne gets them.
Yeah, I sound like a broken record here, but I'm going to agree with you guys, man. Close game. Osborne wins. Probably 5 points or so. The big one up in Dalton this Friday night, probably the game of the week in our area. Cedartown Bulldogs at Dalton. Dalton is 11-point favorite.
I may not make it through the next show if I don't pick Dalton here, and I think Cedartown's looking for some positivity. They've had a tough season so far. Not what the Cedartown faithful expected, but they're going to stand behind the Dogs. I know. I think it's going to be a tough task at Dalton. Dalton, man, they got it rolling right now, and I think the Catamounts they're going to get another W at home.
Yeah, this is a real interesting game to me. This is one that I almost wish I could go into in person. Cedartown, a really good football team, kind of got their backs against the wall. Dalton on fire, got a lot of confidence. I think Cedartown is going to play their guts out. I think it's going to be a really close football game, but I'm going to go with Dalton being at home.
Yeah, I battle back and forth with this one all week. You look at what they've done so far. Cedartown beat Rockmart by 1. Dalton and Rockmart played to a tie during the 4 quarters. So you figure they're pretty even. I got to give the edge to Dalton, just being at home. They have a lot of confidence right now. I know they're fired up. The place is going to be packed Friday night. I'm going to say Dalton 21-20.
Yeah, I think the spread on this one is definitely too much.
Druid Hills, 18-point favorites at Southeast Whitfield.
Yeah, Southeast has been in a few games this year. I just think Druid Hills is going to come with a little too much talent for them to slow, and I'll take Druid Hills by about the 3 touchdown margin.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with Druid Hills, but I just Southeast didn't have a good outing last week against Armurchie, and so I'm going to go Druid Hills.
Yeah, I think this is an important game for Southeast, as they get ready to start 7-4 play next Friday night. Like I said, they took it on the chin last Friday night. I think they'll keep the game closer this Friday night, but yeah, I like Druid Hills. 6 AAA. Bremen 1-0 in the region at Ridgeland 0-1. Bremen 35-point favorites.
I think I'll start by saying I think Bremen wins the game at Ridgeland, but I don't think they win by 35. I think it's more like a 24-point spread. I like Ridgeland as a much improved team, and they're going to get somebody this year. It's going to happen.
Yeah, Ridgeland is much improved, Benton. I agree with you 100%. And they very well may get somebody that the experts don't predict them to get, but it's not going to be this week.
Agree.
Yeah, I have to agree, man. I like the way the Blue Devils opened up last week with that 31-3 win over Gordon Lee. I was impressed by that. Kind of surprised by it, really. The defense played really well. I think Bremen gets this one by 35. This is what most of the preseason prognosticators thought was the 6 AAA Region Championship, which Bremen and Cullowhee Creek have something to say about that. But Adairsville at Ringgold. Ringgold 8-point favorite.
That's going to be my upset pick of the week. I like the Tigers in a close one at Ringo. I just a little bit too much experience. I think they're going to slow the running game down a little bit. I think Adairsville wins in a nail biter, maybe even an overtime game.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody thought that this might be the region championship game going into the season, and it very well may be. I'm going to throw Bremen in that mix as well. I think it's a 3-team race. I don't think it's a 4-team race. Man, this is one of the toughest picks of the week because I think this game is going to be really close, and I think I'm going to go with Adairsville by 1.
Yeah, I like what the Green Tigers have done so far. They had a tough schedule to start the year. Looked really good the last 2 weeks. Going to Ringo, it's going to be tough. Man, I just think Ringo's had a hard time scoring points the last 2 games. 20 points in their last 8 quarters. They're going to have to score to beat Adairsville. I'm going to go with Adairsville in a close one, 21-14.
That means Ringo's going to win.
Absolutely.
LFO 0-1 in 6 AAA at Cullowhee Creek. Cullowhee Creek got to win their first week. The Colts are 2 touchdown favorites.
Yeah, I think this could be a pretty good game here. I think Lakeview's a much improved team, and at Cullowhee quarterback, he runs the ball pretty well. He's a big guy. You better bring your lunch bell to tackle him. And I like Cullowhee to win the game, probably about the 2 touchdown mark. I like where the spread is.
Yeah, I completely agree, Benton. I think LFO is a much improved team. I think that coaching staff up there is doing a really good job. Cullowhee, I was real impressed with them this past week, coming off a loss, and then and then getting a big win last Friday night. So Cullowhee Creek at home, and I think probably about 14 points.
Yeah, I was real impressed with what the Colts did last Friday night too. I had Ridgeland as my upset pick of the week, and Cullowhee just came out and just put the hammer down. And I think they're getting tired of hearing people talk about Bremen, Ringo, and Adairsville. They're going to be right there in the mix too. And I think they go to 2-0 in 6 AAA this weekend with a big win. This is the most interesting game in 6 AAA to me this weekend. This is maybe a future playoff game. One of these teams may get the 4 seed. Gordon Lee at Lafayette 6-point favorite.
You want to go first, Paul?
Yeah, I'll go first. Go ahead and key it up.
Put some flames out there on the upset pick of the week.
Well, I mean, here it is. I mean, I like Lafayette, and I've been real impressed with their defense this year. I think this game is going to be really close, and I think it's going to be low scoring. But it's a rivalry game, kind of Battle of Walker County. Gordon Lee's coming off a tough loss, and I just think they put it together and find a way to pull out a close, low scoring win at Lafayette Friday night.
I probably shouldn't do it because I did it last week and it burned me, but I'm going to go with Gordon Lee as well. For some reason, it might be what I ate for dinner, but I've got a feeling in my gut that Gordon Lee and the young Trojans there is going to get it done at Lafayette.
Yeah, I'll tell you the thinking I had going into this one is, Gordon Lee only scored 3 points last week versus Bremen, and I think Lafayette's defense may be just as good as Bremen's, if not better. The question is going to be, can Lafayette score points? Because they haven't really put a lot of points on the board offensively this year. This game might be 6-3, 8-6, but I'm going to go with the Ramblers at home in a super close game, knockdown, drag out.
I like it.
Gilmer Bobcats on the road at Wesleyan open their region play. Wesleyan is a touchdown favorite.
I think you could flip a coin on this game. I'm going to go with the home team.
Yeah, going to hit that button for me. Yeah, I like the way Gilmer ran the ball. Against Ringgold, played great defense. They got a lot of options on offense. Paul Standard's done a great job. They beat Wesleyan at home last year in a surprise. I think they go on the road this Friday night and get them again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Benton. I think this game's a coin toss. I mean, I'm going to go with Gilmer. We've got some friends of ours, kind of in that North Georgia mountain area, and they're pretty high on Gilmer. They looked good against Ringgold a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I think Gilmer wins a really close one.
The number 8 ranked Lumpkin County Indians, man, I saw somewhere it was the first time they're in the top 10 since 1969.
Oh wow,
30-point favorites at Pickens.
I'm going to call it right now. Lumpkin is going 10-0, and they'll be the number 1 seed in that region, and they'll do it pretty easily. And they will probably be at least a couple rounds deep, maybe more. And I think this could get ugly. And I'll take Lumpkin pretty big.
yeah. I'm sold on Lumpkin. I agree with pretty much everything you said there, Benton. I think Lumpkin is going to have a fantastic year, and I think they're going to have a fantastic Friday night this week. I think Lumpkin wins handily.
Yeah, I mean they're big, physical. I mean they got a 6'2", 215 running back there that carries the ball 20, 25 times a game.
The line of scrimmage, man, the offensive line is just fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't think Pickens has the size to hang with them for 4 quarters. I like Lumpkin big Friday night. 7 AA play starts this weekend. Gordon Central travels to Fannin County. Fannin County 35-point favorite.
I think you're going to hear a lot of "it's third down" from our man Tim Tao at Fannin County, because I think it's going to be a lot of 3rd and long. I like Fannin pretty big in this one.
Yeah, I agree. Fannin County, tough place to play. They've been playing, pretty good football so far this year, and Fannin County is going to win by, I think, at least 35.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've noticed about Chad Cheatham's Fannin County teams over the years is when they lose a game, especially when they're upset, they come out the next week just looking like a completely different team.
Extremely prepared.
They lost to Murphy last week and left a bad taste in their mouth. I think they'll come out this Friday night and probably get that 35 in the first half. North Murray, 2-point favorites at Haralson County.
We talked about this briefly before we come on air here, and I mean, let's say what it is. It's going to be a high flying offense versus a smash mouth, slower pace. Going to try to eat the clock. That's what I'd be doing if I was Harrelson.
Yeah.
Try to possess the ball, keep it out of Skylar Williams and the guys' hands, and I think they're pretty successful doing it. But I think it's just a few too many players and too much talent on North Murray. I like North Murray to win the game, probably about a touchdown or two.
Yeah, I mean I completely agree, Benton. I mean, we talk often about how much we like Haralson County and Coach Peavy and how tough they are and how hard they play, and I think they're going to do the same thing this week at home. I think the difference in this game is North Murray's playmakers on offense, and they're going to find a way to make a couple plays and get the win.
Yeah. I think the key for North Murray is going to be hanging on to the ball. They turned the ball over 4 times in the second half against Northwest Whitfield. If you turn the ball over 4 times against Haralson County, you may never see the ball again. You might get to run 3 plays all night. But yeah, I like North Murray, man. Too much talent on offense. 28-14. Model Blue Devils at Murray County. Model 30-point favorite.
That should be about right. Murray with the big win last week. Big upset win at homecoming at Chattooga, and taking the momentum back home. Model's going to be tough. That Model defense is good. They've scored some points this year as well. I think Model wins this one pretty easily.
Yeah, Murray County is coming off an upset win. They're going to be riding high. They had a good performance Friday night. They're at home. Model coming off a pretty big loss. I think Model wins. I think the Model defense is the biggest factor in the game, and I think Model wins by. I'm not sure they win by 30, but I think maybe 20 to 25.
Yeah, I have to agree with Paul there. I think Model coming off that loss to Tryon. Murray County excited about that win last Friday night against Chattooga. It's going to give them a little extra juice this Friday night. I like Model by 4 touchdowns. A game I know you guys are interested in. 7A play starts Friday night. Chattooga at Pepperell. Pepperell, a 25-point favorite.
Yeah, gonna get introduced to the latest and greatest Rogers. I'm hearing, and it looks like they had a good game last week. Jansen, big physical quarterback, playing quarterback now, and also playing linebacker. Looking to see, if Chattooga gets any of their injured players back, or if who they go with at quarterback. Had different quarterback last week. Really, really missing the anchor in the middle. Bubba Bass out a few more games. He was averaging 20 tackles a game while he was in there, and offensively, I think they have enough to score some points. Will they be able to slow the Dragons down? And I know we're not in Missouri, but show me that you can. So I'll take Pepperell by about 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I kind of agree with exactly what you said there, Benton. Chattooga's dealing with a couple injuries. I think that hurt them on the defensive side of the ball the other night. A week ago, I was not real sure where to go on this game. Model had started off slow. Chattooga was coming off a win against Cahulla Creek, and then then Murray County comes into Chattooga, gets the win, and Pepperell gets a win against a good Temple team. And that's kind of reversed the way I feel about this game. And so I'm going to go with the Dragons at home.
Yeah, yep. I have to agree with you there, Paul. But if you'd asked me this 2 weeks ago, show me the same line 2 weeks ago, it'd have been an easy pick. But, I like the way Pepperell's played the last 2 weeks, scoring points, playing defense. They kind of look like the Pepperell team we thought they were going to look like coming into the season. Yeah, I like Pepperell. I think Chattooga keeps it closer. Like Benton said, I think about 3 touchdowns is good. But yeah, it's gonna be hard stopping a little Mr. Rogers down there.
Mr.
Rogers. Coosa at Armurchie. Probably the most important game in 7A. Armurchie, a 10-point favorite.
Could you call this a elimination game as the first region game?
Like I said, it's early in the season. A lot of things can happen, but really, this is an elimination game.
I'll say this: I just don't think Armurchie's going to let it happen again. Armurchie at home, I'll take the Indians.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good football game. I really do. Armurchie's coming off a big win. Armurchie's at home. Coosa's played some pretty decent football this year, and man, I'm going with Armurchie just because they're coming off a big win and they're at home.
Yeah, I think that win last week helped them out, especially in the fashion they did. Luke Lively, junior quarterback, had a breakout game, 4 touchdowns, threw 2, ran 2. I think that's what they needed heading into 7A play. I think the spread there is probably about right. I think Armurchie beats them by 10. Coosa's a tough team. They're going to come out and fight hard. 20-10, 24-14, something like that. Coach Poston bringing his Dade County Wolverines down to Darlington. Darlington 16-point favorite.
This is one kind of really interested in seeing how this one goes. I think that Dade can hang around in this game. I think it depends on whether or not they could slow the Darlington running game. Quarterback can move around in the pocket pretty good. Got 2 pretty good running backs at Darlington. I think the line of scrimmage is probably closer to a tie than it's normally been, and I think the skill players at Darlington probably went out just barely. Though I like Darlington in a close one.
Yeah. Dade's played a really tough schedule early on, which I think helps them. And I think they're going to be prepared for this game. I think they're going to be motivated for this game. And I think they're going to play really tough and really hard and really well-coached football. And I just think Darlington, a little bit more skill and being at home. But I think Darlington wins a close one because of those 2 things.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's early in the 7A schedule, but I think this is a game where whoever wins this game circles trying down the line as your region championship. Like I said, Dade's going to come in and play tough. They played Athens Academy, Bowden earlier in the season, so they're not going to be intimidated by Darlington. But like Benton mentioned, man, the speed in the backfield for Darlington, they got 2 options back there. Got Talon Showery on the outside. They got speed all over the place. I think Darlington wins in a close one, 28-14. Charles is Heard County Braves at home, looking for their first win, hosting Clarkston. Heard a 35-point favorite.
Heard looking for this game. They been looking for it for a few weeks now.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
I tried to mute it before that, but it didn't work. Let's see. Mute works, just didn't hit it. Back to what I was saying. I like Heard in this game. I think they loosen the reins and let her fly this week. Heard big.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know a whole lot about Clarkston, but I know Heard has got off to a little slower start than what they'd like, and so I agree with Benton. They're looking forward to this game. And I think they're going to come out fired up, hitting on all cylinders at home, and I think Heard County wins big.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think if Heard gets a chance to score some points this weekend, they're going to do it. Like I said, they're looking to get off on a different foot heading into region play.
Yeah.
Temple Tigers traveling over to Bowden. Bowden 25-point favorite.
You'd asked me a couple weeks ago about this game. I'd say that I think it might be competitive, but I think it still might be competitive. I'm not saying that it won't be competitive. I just think that the Bowden's got the better team. Probably 21-point spread. I like Bowden to win the game by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. Again, same thing, Benton. I mean, Temple started off really hot, and last couple of weeks things have not gone their way. I still think they're a really good, well-coached football team, but I think Bowden is got a little too much speed and talent. And Bowden at home, I say Bowden by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I've actually heard from some people that played Bowden this year that Bowden might be better than they were last season. And that's hard to believe, man, because Bowden was super good last year. I mean, state champs, obviously.
Yeah.
I like Bowden by about that 25. Mount Zion, man, they were beaten pretty handily last week by Brookstone, traveling to Jasper County as 12-point underdogs.
Yeah, on the road at Jasper. It might be chilly in Jasper. You never know. No, I like Jasper to win the game. I think Mount Zion keeps it close, but Jasper County wins it.
I agree. I think Mount Zion, I think they keep it pretty close, but that's a long way to travel. And coming off a big loss, I'm going to go with Jasper.
Yeah, I consider myself a Georgia geography buff, man, but I have no idea where Jasper County is. I know it's somewhere south of Carrollton somewhere, right? Maybe close to Macon. I don't even know. But yeah, having to get on the buses and travel that far, Jasper's a decent team. I think Mount Zion keeps it close, but Jasper County wins.
Jasper County is near Monticello.
Yeah, Monticello. I'm not sure where Monticello is.
All right, let's see here. Let me give you a little better direction. You know where Covington, Georgia is?
Yeah.
Between Covington and Forsyth on 83. It's kind of, or actually
Okay.
more between Madison and Forsyth.
Interesting. Okay.
Kind of headed out towards Augusta.
Yeah, it's between 75 and 20. Basically, just if you drew a line from Atlanta, right in between 75 and 20, and you run right through Jasper County.
Yeah, completely different direction than I thought. Christian Heritage, man, they got their first win last week. Upset Pickens, 3A Pickens team at home. On the road at number 14 ranked St. Francis. St. Francis, 21-point favorite.
Yeah, like we said earlier in the year, man, you just put it all in a bag and draw it out. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, that Pickens team up, down. Christian Heritage kind of been a little bit the same way. I think St. Francis has a pretty good squad. I think at St. Francis, I'll take St. Francis by a few touchdowns.
Yeah, big win for Christian Heritage last week. Congratulations to those guys. But I don't think they pulled the upset this week. On the road at St. Francis, that's just I think St. Francis is just going to be too much for them.
Yeah, I know Carter Trippett last week, Benton, he did what we've been talking about all year, man. He finally put it on the ground, had 150 yards on the ground, 150 yards passing.
There you go.
That big boy can run, throw. But yeah, tough to go down to St. Francis and get the win. I like St. Francis, 14-21. All right, fellas, that's week 6, man. We're halfway done for the season. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about Friday night.
You gonna be Coosa at Armurchie?
I'll be Coosa and Armurchie this Friday night. You'll be Chattooga Pepperell, and Paul will be sipping
at the beach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'll definitely be I'll be streaming some games and following you guys and keeping up with everything. Believe me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Ben and I will be back on here at 11 o'clock Friday night for the scoreboard show. We'll be with you.
You off this week?
I'm not off this week, but they're actually letting me go in at 12 o'clock on Fridays now.
Okay.
So I'll be here.
Oh, Lawrence got a sweetheart deal.
Already.
All right. We'll see everybody Friday night.